Hey, welcome. You're about to listen to a replay of an old episode from just over 3 years ago now, episode 41 on resentment. I don't know about you, but I have to keep learning some of this stuff over and over again, and that's why I do a replay every once in a while, because even though we may have heard something before, we're at a different point in our lives, and so things can land differently. They can speak to us in a different way, because we are ever evolving and ever changing. And so these lessons, hopefully you can see with new eyes. At the time, this was one of the more popular episodes, and so I'm bringing it back. If you were waiting for a new episode, I'm sorry. But the hope is a new one is coming in the next 1 to 2 weeks. And I get a little nervous saying that because I'm not a big fan of broken promises. So thanks for your grace, but that's the plan right now. Just a quick shout out. I got an email from Cody DeOrazio, and he said this: I just wanted to reach out to you and thank you for your podcasts you produce. I listen to them on my daily commute to class, and I cannot be more happy to listen to them every day. Not only do they give me hope and a constant smile on my face, but they also help improve myself. I have learned how to control how I think and take a deep breath when I need to. You have opened my mind to so much. Thank you for your time that you take with these podcasts. Your listeners are forever grateful, including your number one fan, me. Enjoy your week, and may it be fulfilled with success and greatness. Thank you, Cody. Those words mean so much. I appreciate every one of you who takes the time to listen and subscribe to your motivational high five. They are designed to be short and to be shared. And so if something hits you in a powerful way, let your friends know, let your family know. Give it a rating on iTunes, give it a review, and your words, they mean a lot. So thank you. It just so happens on the day I'm going to release this replay episode, I read this quote by Episcopal clergyman and author Phillips Brooks. It says this: you who are letting miserable misunderstandings run on from year to year, meaning to clear them up someday, if you could only know and see and feel all of a sudden the time is short, how it would break the spell. Oof. On that note, let's dive into this episode 41 on resentment. Peace. Hey gals and guys, it's your host Phil Larson, and this is your motivational high five on resentment. Let's do this. Hello, and thank you for hanging out with me for about 5 minutes, where we look at an aspect of life and we try to, get different views on it and equate it to our own life. I don't have all the answers, and really, this is a form of audio blogging for me. It's to get these things that have been in my head for a while out into the world, and it's helped me mentally. And I've heard from some of you guys who have emailed me that it's helped you process things as well. And it's an honor to be let in on that and to be a part of that. And thank you for hearing what I have to say as well. This is kind of you joining me in my process as well. So thanks for listening in. On resentment today, resentment is defined as bitter indignation at having been treated unfairly. And that's where I want to start. Have you ever been wronged in your life? And if you have, you've probably held on to resentment. I know that I have, and I've used this other word, I've held a grudge. And first of all, that's okay. It's not wrong to feel miffed and to feel angered, because that just shows that we want justice. We want justice to be served. We want what's right. We have a moral compass. Because injustice leaves this feeling of a weight of what's wrong, and it's just heavy, isn't it? It's a load to carry. And hopefully when we let ourselves feel that and it propels us to good, healthy action, that propelling of healthy action would be to relieve that weight, to get it off your chest. So the weight of the resentment, I would hope, and I'm learning in my own life, would push you to seeking out a relieving of that weight by voicing it to whoever needs to hear it in a very healthy way that invites them into discussion. on how you've been treated unfairly. But if you've held on to things for years, and I'm speaking from experience, that sort of weight has probably done some crippling damage. And the real dangerous part is that we have no idea because we've gotten so used to carrying that weight. And we've adapted to it, we've carried that weight, and sometimes we don't even know until something triggers it and it comes out in anger. The moment that we begin taking off this weight, things become uncomfortable. Even if we get an apology from the person who has wronged us, we may find ways to continue the blaming and the shaming. And why is that? Because the resentment has served us in some way. It has helped us feel justified. We've found comfort in that pain. We know it well, and we've become well acquainted. When we get to the point of realizing that this resentment we've become comfortable with, and we get to the point where we don't want it anymore, we have to grieve. Grieve, yeah, that sounds a little weird, but whenever we lose something that we've become comfortable with, even if it's unhealthy, there is a grieving process we have to go through. Because you're losing something that you become acquainted with, almost an actual acquaintance, a mechanism of comfort, a thing that served us well for a little amount of time for us to understand, this is injustice. But then something that we've held on and continued to serve us, maybe in an unhealthy way, but served us nonetheless for quite some time. And I'm not saying don't voice what's bothering you after all these years. In fact, maybe that's part of the grieving process. No, in fact, I am saying voice it all and trust those people or person, their capacity for healthy change or growth. Yes, even that person. Dare I say, hope for it. Because if you know in your own life that you are not the same person you were 4, 5, 6 years ago, then hope that maybe this person isn't as well. And the person that they were when they hurt you, maybe they've done their own journey of growth and health, and they're at a place now where you can bring your resentment, bring the things that you've struggled with, and hope and pray that they are at a place to hear it. And even if they're not, it is healthy for you to get it off your chest. Whether or not they apologize, it doesn't matter. You have to take care of you, and you can let go of your resentment even though they may not agree. There's a great quote from Hindu spiritual teacher Swami Shivananda that says, "Every human being is the author of his or her own health or disease." I think it's important to make a decision to take charge of our own mental health, which is to then separate the actions of others from the actions that we do for ourselves. So not dependent on their own reaction, you need to get something off your chest. And that is to help your health, not depending on whether or not they respond well or not. Now, there is a way to do that healthily and lovingly, and there's a way to do it harmfully. And so that's why I would implore you guys to speak with the people who offer wisdom in your life the best way in that individual particular situation to go about sharing these things to the person that you have a grudge towards. But do it. Decide to make action to relieve yourself of some unnecessary baggage you've been carrying. And at the end of every episode, we do this. We decide to take charge of our own mental health. And we do that by finding reflection of ourselves in a mirror, and we speak life. We speak positive and hopeful and things that we want to see happen, changes that we want to make in our lives. We speak it to ourselves, and we do this as a part. It's not the cure-all, it's not the fix, but it's part of rewiring your brain, as explained in through neuroscience and neuroplasticity. That's explained really well in my friend who's a doctor, a scientist, in episode 15. So if you haven't listened to that yet, I would encourage you to do that. But when you find some time today to find a reflection of yourself, will you speak this to yourself? today I could take a step toward relief of the weight of my resentments. And remember, resentments are heavy. And so addressing resentments is a thing not to be taken lightly. But I'm beginning to feel the relief of that in my own life, and I can tell you guys, it's worth it. It's hard work, but it's worthy work. And you got to decide for yourself, do you want that? It starts with you.